web3.tv.
Hello, what's up, and welcome back to another episode of the Traders Brawl podcast. This is episode 60, guys. Thank you so much for staying with us. And today we have a special new guest with us, Laura Inamedinova. Did I say it right?
Yes, you did, and no practice needed.
I'm about to introduce her in a second, but before I do, welcome to the podcast. We are here to educate. We're here all about Web3, marketing, fitness, also fitness and financial freedom, as you know, the triple F. So today's guest is going to be about investing and also about marketing as well. Personal branding, don't forget. So I want to thank our new guests. Please welcome Laura. Laura, how are you?
I'm doing very well, and I love your energy. You know, you started speaking like, let's go. I'm like, damn, I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much. I've seen your energy as well, and I think we have a great synergy. Like, I interviewed you before. I've seen that you are very active on social media. But let's give yourself an introduction for the audience who don't know you. Who are you?
Sure. So, hello everyone. My name is Laura Inamedinova. I'm from Lithuania, and I work for Gate.io, one of the largest crypto exchanges in the space. I focus mostly on investments and post-portfolio companies management, helping companies to get the maximum resources from Gate ecosystem. I'm an international speaker. I travel a lot around the world, giving lectures, speeches, keynotes, all about how projects can prepare for fundraising, what do investors care about when they're selecting a project to invest in, and of course, the current ecosystem. I'm super happy to be here, and yeah, thank you for having me.
I'll also read out a little description I wrote down.
Please do.
Yes. So, Laura Inamedinova is an award-winning serial entrepreneur, investor, and keynote speaker known for her insights in the Web3 space since 2016.
Yes.
Currently, she holds dual roles at Gate.io and Gate Ventures, where she manages global growth, builds cross-border partnerships, and oversees strategic investments. Prior to joining Gate.io, she founded LKI Consulting, a Web3 marketing agency that grew to 8 figures, earning her global acclaim as one of the top women entrepreneurs. She is also a successful angel investor with over 40 projects in her portfolio. Additionally, Laura is a former Forbes and Huffington Post columnist and has delivered over 156 keynotes in more than 25 countries.
You know, scratch my intro. I love your more.
It's amazing. 156 keynotes. That's pretty cool.
I mean, to be fair, now it's probably even more.
Even more, probably.
Like,
you lose count after the first 156.
Yes. I mean, just last month, I've probably did like 10 keynotes, conference appearances. If we add AMAs and podcasts, even more.
So I want to get some of your inspiration to kick off. You've been rocking the Web3 space since 2016. What sparked your initial interest, and when did you know that you were hooked into crypto?
So actually, I learned about magic internet money very accidentally. I was in college studying physics, and all my classmates were geeks, and they were mining bitcoins back in their college dorms where you could easily do it. And I remember I was in my macroeconomics class and I needed an extra credit, and I was like, can I do a lecture about this magic internet money for my professor? And she's like, yeah, sure, do it. So I literally did a presentation about what Bitcoin is in like a third year of my college. And from that moment, I realized there's something interesting I want to keep a track on. Unfortunately, I was a broke college student. I couldn't buy a lot of crypto, but I bought some Bitcoin when the price was around $2,000. And as the price started to grow and grow, I'm like, I definitely need to keep an eye on. And then after I graduated, I was already doing tech marketing. I was invited to do an ICO, one of the first ICOs from my country.
Ooh.
And we were successful.
What was the ICO name?
I'm not gonna say it.
You can't say it because
it was back in the day. The funny thing is, we raised 7 figures with only 3 W's: website, white paper, and a wallet. That was days. Like,
there were white papers back then?
Yes, and people actually read it.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
No.
So, and we raised it in like less than a week, and I'm like, I could go into TradFi, hustle for 10 years, be no one, climb the career ladder step by step, or I can go into crypto and grow together with the industry. Right. And I'm very fortunate I made that decision to stay in crypto, build my reputation in it, and now I'm here where I am. Whereas if I would be in TradFi, as a lot of my friends went to, I would still be probably middle management, somewhere stuck in some corporate job.
True. I think I can resonate with what you're saying because I did have a choice to make between previous to working for this Web3 company, Web3 TV, and starting my own agency, Traders Brawl Media. I was working for the government in the UK.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was called the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority. So, compliance guy.
Yes.
Yes, I was like the crypto police that everyone hated.
So you chose the dark side afterwards.
Well, after I got the knowledge,
yes.
I was like, you know, this is really, what I was doing in there, I was also interviewing applicants who wanted to get registered. Then I realized I have an interviewing skill here. I have interview skills, except it was closed doors.
Yes.
It wasn't out for the public.
Yes.
And that was a takeaway from that. And then I didn't know I would be doing podcasting, but hey, after I took the career path of investing in Web3 and cryptos, it changed my life.
Good job switching. High five. From the good side to a little bit more darker side. I love it.
I know. Now I'm curious, when you initially got into crypto, which is back in 2016, right? Was there a moment when you said to yourself, I don't need to work for anybody. I can because you still work for you still did a job as a columnist.
It was more freelancer.
It was more it was a freelance basis.
It was freelance basis.
Okay, so they will call you on the spot. How would
it was
work?
more basically it was more mandate. So how Forbes and Huffington Post worked back in the day. So you had access to your platform. It had a mandate how many content pieces you had to write per month. You would write them, you would submit to your editor, they would review it, and then basically publish it.
Okay.
So it's more about how many content pieces, what is the length. Sometimes the editor would give me specific tasks and assignments on specific topics. If, let's say, some company was hot, they wanted me to cover, or there was some event they wanted me to attend. But most was a lot of freedom, as long as I just fill in my mandate.
Got it. Did you ever have, after graduating, did you ever have a 9-to-5 job before?
So I actually had a few 9-to-5 jobs when I was still in college. So I had an internship in Barclays Cybersecurity.
Barclays Bank.
Yes, in Barclays Bank. And that was my big girl job, kind of. Coming in with a suit in a courtroom. It was during summer. I had, this vision of probably we didn't have TikTok back in the day, but we had Instagram. And, I had this big girl job. After first 3 days, I hated there.
Oh, really?
Because you would come in, you get certain tasks that you need to do. I would do it within an hour or two. I would go to my manager, be like, okay, I'm done. Give me more stuff. And he's like, I can't. I'm like, what do you mean? That's it. According to your internship, this is what you need to do. And because of the security reasons, we can't give you anything else. So I'm like, so can I go home? Can I go home? He's like, no. So basically, we just have to sit in corporate for the next 4 hours doing nothing. And because we had our work computers where we couldn't get Facebook, YouTube, nothing, I would just basically start meeting other employees, going around, because I was just so bored. And then I found out how many more of my colleagues who were there on a full-time job basis were basically just pushing time and pushing paper because they didn't have proper amount of job to do. They could do it in a few hours, and then you would just sit and pretend they're working.
Wow. That's really interesting because it really, some of that money is being paid to them is quite high salaries.
Yes. And even as an intern, I was getting paid quite a lot, relatively,
High salaries for a sitting job.
Yes.
And some of the jobs are not really that,
complicated.
Stimulating, intellectually stimulating.
Yes, they weren't.
Okay, wow. Yeah, it's very similar to the corporate life I had. So shortly after that, when was the moment where you decided, actually, I don't need to work for anyone, and I'm just going to do this?
So basically, when I was in college last year, I was working for one startup.
Last year you were in college?
Last year of college.
Okay,
Not last year. No. I graduated many years ago, almost 10 years ago. God, time flies. No, but last year of my college, 4th year, I was working for a startup. It was a social media app in Web2. And I already started freelancing, so I was writing for Forbes. I was posting a lot on my social media about my work, and some companies started to approach me, ask for some marketing advice, and I created my own personal website. And I had a boss who saw that I posted my personal website, and he was this big Russian dude who would love to go smoking, for smoke breaks during the day to talk to people. And he's like, Laura, let's go downstairs for a smoke break. It means to talk. I go there, he's like, I see you have this website. What does it mean? I'm like, well, it's my personal website. He's like, so you're doing something else? I'm like, yeah, from time to time I'm advising, I'm writing, so on. He's like, but you're working for me. And I'm like, yeah, but look, all my KPIs, all my stuff, I'm always over delivering whatever monthly KPI we have. Let's say we had a KPI of like 10, I would do 15. So like, is there an issue? He's like, yeah, there is an issue. You should choose whether you continue working for us or you do your freelancing stuff. And at that moment, I'm like, I quit. Like that was a moment when
Same day or no?
Literally same day.
Same day?
Literally same day.
Wow.
Like it was such, I'm usually like a very calm person. I calculate my decision. I spend time thinking about them. But at that moment, there was this gut feeling where I'm like, and again, I was just out of college. Like I didn't have big life experience. I don't come from rich family. It's not like I had a big safety net. And I wouldn't say my freelancing career was that good. I was making, same salary or whatever. But it was this gut decision like, no, I shouldn't be working for someone else. And I'm very, very fortunate that since then till now, like, okay, now I kind of work for the exchange, but it's still more on a partnership basis. I don't feel like I have a boss who's telling me, do this, do that. It's more partnership, we agree on a strategy, and I do my own thing. So I'm very, very fortunate for the last almost 10 years to be able to manage my career and my career's trajectory the way I want it to be.
And you joined Gate.io 2 years ago? Was it something?
No, I joined Gate last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
Last year. Very
Recent.
interesting. So, and the way that you were able to build this, was it also through investing? Maybe we could talk about your investing experience.
Sure. 100%.
When was your first crypto investment?
So basically how I went into investing is actually through my marketing agency. So when I quit that Web2 job, I started freelancing and slowly grew into running a marketing agency.
Okay.
And I helped a lot of different projects launch throughout 17, 18, 19, and some of them did quite well. So what happened, and I would start receiving a lot of tokens from the clients we've worked with.
Oh, yes.
Some did quite well.
Yes.
And I realized this is where the money is. I'm not going to be making money from charging marketing retainers. I'll be making money from these tokens.
Tokens, right?
Exactly. Unfortunately, you can't do it anymore because it's very hard market. Back in the day, the market was amazing. So I started getting some tokens that did quite well. Then I started investing in some tokens pre-seed, basically in SAFTs. And again, some of them did miserably, some of them did quite well. And so it happened that I started together with 4 partners, Illuminati Capital. It's a Dubai-based venture capital where most invest our own money in a couple of LPs. We deployed a lot during the bear market. I think now I even have 50, 60 SAFTs, some of them under my personal name, some of them through Illuminati. And that's how I kind of went into investing, just having tokens, investing myself, and then investing together with a few people from the space. And yeah, that was the trajectory.
I'm really curious to know, when you were doing this, when you're getting these tokens, when you were freelancing, because it was a startup, what services were you providing? Was it the same like columnist, like journalism, article writing? Was that mainly the service?
No. So at that time when I went full into freelancing, I had to quit my writing job because you can't be a PR marketing person and be a journalist. There's a conflict of interest. So mostly what I helped with was token launches. So preparing all marketing campaigns and strategies for projects to get listed. So that would be, writing white paper, because back in the day, people actually read white papers. And I think that was a very, very good thing to learn more about the project and technology.
These were before the ChatGPT days.
Yes.
Way
good
before.
Old days. Good old days.
Yeah.
We do social media, we connect them with influencers, would have some ICO drop calendars back in the day, so would post there. So just do regular kind of marketing, token launch, and then after token launch, those projects didn't rug, because there were quite a few clients that unfortunately weren't good ones and back in the day couldn't assess properly, would help with price management as well.
I see. Back then, was social media big?
Yes.
It was?
10 times bigger
Which
now.
one? Which social media?
So we focus still mostly on Twitter.
Twitter.
Yes.
Is that where you first started your professional work or work in general?
Yes. For services, Twitter was number one thing we offered.
I see. So you would do tweets about the campaign?
Yes. Everything, content design, scheduling, strategy, then working with other projects for partnerships, do cross promotion. So yeah, it was very, I would say, standard marketing services.
It's like a golden mine moment where you would just earn in tokens. And of course, here's the only thing though: when you're earning in tokens, and sometimes in the beginning the tokens are not worth that much. So how were you still able to sustain yourself, your lifestyle, your living, your bills?
So we always charge a fix of tokens and fiat. So basically, I would always calculate how much do I need to pay my bills, and let's see if I had already employees, so how much I need for salaries, and then an extra would be in tokens.
Got it.
Sometimes back in the days, I could even add double, triple in token. So let's
tokens,
say,
yeah, because tokens are
at that
they
point,
can print, they can mint them.
Yes, exactly. At that point, those tokens were worthless until we do good marketing, so I could really negotiate and bargain a good amount.
A good amount.
Yes.
And then you get this massive airdrop of tokens. You
and
sit
then
on
you sell it.
And then you sell it.
Yes.
How would you get the tokens though? You had to create a wallet.
Yes.
And was it through an exchange or was it a separate wallet, like hot
So
wallet?
majority of times back in the day would be through a specific wallet, and then you have to transfer tokens to the exchange or the DEX as well. Again, very much depending on the token.
Right. Because in order to keep those tokens, you want it in your own wallet, or you're going to create your own wallet, but they need to send you the tokens and then
that would be part of contract.
Right. And then if those tokens were ever to Moon, right? Who would you sell them to?
Usually, if the tokens Moon, I mean they're already in the exchange.
They're already in the exchange.
Yeah.
You can just sell it back to the exchange.
Yeah, back to exchange. Yeah.
Okay. And was that one of the ways that you had like a career moment where it's like a career trajectory change?
I would say some of these tokens did very, very well.
Did very, very well. And that allowed you to say, okay, look, I don't need to work for any company.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's really interesting. That's good to hear your inspiration. Now, you mentioned you founded an 8-figure marketing agency. How did you manage to make an 8-figure marketing agency?
So it was very organic. I started as a freelancer.
Right.
And when you do good work with one client, others are approaching you at one point, you start having too many clients one person can handle as a freelancer, and you start employing. First, you employ subcontractors, other freelancers. You're a freelancer with many freelancers.
Yeah, I know.
And then at one point, I probably need a first full-timer. So I hired my first assistant, first marketing manager, and I kind of grew step by step from 17, 18 till last year when I gave the leadership role to my COO, who is now a CEO. At this point, I'm still a shareholder of the agency, but I'm not actively involved. We have 17 people from all around the world still working and doing amazing marketing campaigns for our clients.
I see. And these you have a say in who gets to work for LKI or not so much anymore? Because you said you don't represent it anymore.
No, not anymore. Now I have amazing CEO Marina. She's doing incredible job. She's been with me for the last 4 years, and she's the one I'm making all these decisions: who gets hired, who gets fired, what kind of clients we work with, and who do we not take as well.
So, question for me, and maybe the audience, if they're thinking about this too. You made an 8-figure agency. Why would you want to leave that and give it to somebody else? Well,
I'm still a majority shareholder, and I believe that you need to empower everyone from your team. So even when I was running a marketing agency, I was giving out a lot of bonuses based on performance. So for example, if you're a project manager and you're managing a client, you get 5%, besides the salary, you get 5% of whatever the client profit is every month. That means the bigger the clients you have, the more the client spends, the more you make as well. Same thing right now. I mean, I want my team members to be appreciated, to feel appreciated. That's why I'm not stingy to give out equity, shares, profit sharing as well.
Right.
They're running the business.
They're running it.
Yes.
But you don't want to have any decision-making power over it anymore? No. Or is it because it was too much to manage?
It wasn't too much to handle, but marketing agency is amazing service, an amazing business to get cash flow. But it's not going to be the business going to make you multiple figures.
Why is that though?
Because you can't scale.
You can't scale.
You can't scale. The moment you start scaling, the quality decreases.
Why?
So, because there are too many people, you need to manage too many clients. There's too many middle managers that can't make sure that the quality is up to the standard. Because then you have only a couple of C-level executives whose time is not infinite, and they need to be able to manage all the clients. So realistically, you can have a good agency up to 25 people. Above that, quality decreases, and you don't want to have it. So, or you have a different model where you do more routine services, but then your profit margins decrease as well. Because you can do very much repetitive, cheap services where the quality doesn't matter that much, but then you're going to charge less. So whether you have an agency of 25 people or 75, your profit is going to be more or less similar.
Wow.
And one of my mentors had one of the largest agencies in Ukraine with more than 100 employees, and she was most profitable when she had 30.
When she had 30, because she had
Yes.
less staff to pay.
Yes, less staff to pay. She could sell more expensive services because the quality control was better than when you have more than 100 employees.
Interesting. See, it's different to like when you're selling physical products. Each product has a unit value. The more units, the more,
Yes.
and it's already in profit. But
Yeah.
when you have much of clients
Yes.
with specific needs.
Yes.
Even the staff members who you need to pay the salaries to, it doesn't necessarily mean that more clients leads to
Yes.
more money.
Exactly.
There's also payments.
Yes. Plus, if you have certain amount of employees, you need to start having HR, you need to start having
department.
legal, you need to start having all the supporting staff
All right.
that is not required for a smaller teams.
No.
So in the end, I did the numbers. I realized scaling just doesn't make sense.
For
and it's-
marketing.
exactly. Money-wise, not going to make sense. I mean, for ego, maybe.
No! Well, it's good to know this early
Yes.
for myself.
Yes, that's the problem. You can get up to a certain level, but afterwards it's just, plus the problem is you're competing with projects that can pay much more than a marketing. You can never pay the same
True.
salaries as some project who just raised 50, 100 million.
True.
So you can't have the best talent. You have to work with the talent you have to educate them, spend a lot of time on educating. Your clients are very demanding. You can't replicate yourself as well.
Unfortunately.
And then if you find someone who's at the level where you are, why would he work or she work for you other than having their own agency?
That's so true. They can create their own agency.
Yes. So why would they work for someone else? So basically, there is a certain optimal level that makes sense. But afterwards, I mean, there are some people who do it. I just didn't see the way. And my goal
Interesting.
then is go into investing. That's why I chose to go on the fund path.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm hitting a sort of plateau here. Been doing this for 2.5 years now, the marketing agency, which is what you see, the
Yeah.
kind of products, the kind of
Yeah.
production we do, which
Yeah.
is good. So I hold the mic, I get the cameras,
Yes.
but it's a joint thing, and we both get paid.
Yeah.
Now, I also did events, event series like every Monday. It's called Money Monday. Every Monday we would have an event, and I got lured into event hosting because it really felt like, oh, I wonder what it's like to have my own event. I've been to so many, and I did host my events, but what I didn't realize is that this is not scalable either.
No.
It's not.
I mean, events are more scalable because
You
you
think
can
so?
standardize a lot of things. The problem is dealing with clients.
Right. For me, the problem here, I think, is people in Dubai, maybe this is a Dubai thing, they don't want to pay for events, especially crypto.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I know someone who can know someone who can know someone, blah, 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 I'll get in free. But the way I wanted to do this, and maybe I haven't tried properly, is to do, when I have a restaurant that I used to do these events with, profit share with the drinks. So
Yes.
you don't charge the client. The clients get free, or sorry, the guests.
Yeah.
But you profit share with the drinks. But that's a Web 2 job.
That's
it's
Web2.
Web 2.
Yes.
It's not Web 3.
Yes. But you know what's good? Crypto guys have money, so they're big spenders.
Yeah,
They
that's true.
probably can spend more alcohol than Web2 people.
Yeah. So I'm earning indirectly from
Yes.
the
Yes.
drinks.
Yeah. Or you can get sponsorships as well.
That's true. But the sponsorship is only like one time. Like
Yes.
here, sponsor for this date, for
Yes.
this time. Afterward, find your next sponsor.
Yes.
And that was the thing that annoyed me about events. I did events for eight editions straight,
Yeah.
but I needed to always find a sponsor.
Yes.
And then now, the time, it was just, it
Yes.
got too much to a level where I was similar to you, it's not scalable.
I talked to some people who have done very big events. It's good for brand building, but at best, you break even. Events are not that profitable. It's very, very hard to do events, especially at scale, to make it profitable.
True. And I think in a price-sensitive market like Dubai, when people are connected here, they will always not want to pay first, but secondly, the sponsors, even the sponsors like Binance, big ones, they're going to sponsor bigger events
Yes.
with a bigger name.
Yes.
And that,
Yes.
that's also a
Yes,
challenge.
and it doesn't make sense to sponsor a small event.
Yeah, right? Even if you, Laura, you have a great branding value, you versus something like Jitex, they'll choose
Yeah,
Jitex, right?
100%.
No matter what, they still choose it. And that's just the way it works, unfortunately. Yeah. But hey, this is a good, for me, the takeaway was personal branding.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And I think the same for you when it came to the marketing agency
Yes,
you
it's
did.
all about the personal brand. I did so many conferences, so many events all around the world, and that what led me create my brand and now join Gate.
Question now. So let's talk about managing, how you manage your lifestyle. This is a separate question now. Daily rituals. Okay.
Daily rituals.
Everybody has daily rituals. You're human. Are you human?
I am.
Balancing a dynamic career and investments must require some cool daily habits. Do you have any quirky routines, secret coffee rituals that help you stay focused and energized?
Honestly, not really. I have things that I love to do, but I wouldn't say I need in the morning, wake up at a specific time, take a cold shower, drink my matcha with specific milk. I don't have it. I could travel so much.
Yeah.
I'm never in a routine. But key things that I always try to do is work out. Right now when I'm in Dubai, I do reformer and Pilates. I love it. And I also do horse riding. So these are like I've been doing horse riding my whole life. So it's, rather than about having a specific routine on a day-to-day basis, is having specific set of hobbies that you do to keep yourself grounded and rested.
Correct.
But in terms of eating specific food or like meditating, not really.
Not really, right?
No.
Okay, I think that's a buzzword people say.
You see these videos on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, I wake up 4 in the morning. I do my morning cold shower, cold plunge. Then I do my meditation. Then I write 5 gratefulness. And I'm listening to that, and I'm like, why? What's wrong with you? Maybe you just need therapy. Like, I mean, no offense to anyone who is doing that. If that works, I don't, and I'm doing well, I would say, for myself.
No diet, no, you don't follow any specific diet either.
I mean, I don't eat meat. I'm pescatarian.
Oh, you're pescatarian?
Yes, I stopped eating meat like 5 years ago.
May I ask why?
I love animals, and I don't think in my current lifestyle meat is required. Because meat, at least in my culture, was eaten before when people would work in the fields, in agriculture, whereas right now, if I'm sitting at my computer going to some meetings, I don't need that greasy food, and my blood tests are good. I stopped drinking alcohol 5 years ago. 3 years ago for alcohol. Again, I just realized alcohol doesn't fit in my lifestyle, because when you go to all these events, you have alcohol everywhere, and I want to feel fresh with a sharp mind. And I think actually alcohol is becoming less and less popular. It's not trendy anymore. So stop drinking that. But again, it's more like a thing I chose not to do, and I don't pay attention that much to it. I don't make my person. You know how vegans or vegetarians make being vegan their whole personality?
Yeah.
I don't make not drinking my whole personality. I'm like, I don't drink, that's it.
Right. And so, like, for example, you don't eat meat foods, but you could still wear a jacket with fur on it, or no?
No.
Okay,
No.
so that is your lifestyle.
Yes.
Okay.
I wouldn't wear fur.
Okay.
Because the only thing I would wear is a leather jacket made of the skin of the cow, let's say cow or calf, because the animal already gets slaughtered for food. So at least its skin is getting reused, but no fur at all. And in our culture, as an Eastern European, fur coats are very popular.
Very popular, right? And they sell, they're
Everywhere,
very popular there.
and everyone's wearing it during winter. So I give a lot of dirty looks during winter to people if I'm at home, especially to my mom.
See, I have a mixed opinion. No, not about the fur, but about the diet side.
Yeah.
I used to be vegan. I used to cut out everything, and I think there's still a very good use case for being vegan. If you have bloating, cut out dairy, cut out cheese. For me, you can really stop bloating all the time.
Yeah.
But now here's the thing: I would buy vegan stuff, not reading the ingredients at the back. And I would see the ingredients, huge amount of ingredients, that to make this sausage took this amount of chemicals, to make this super tasty, delicious sausage that's not meat, not beef, not chicken.
Yes.
And when you compare it to a beef or chicken, it's just chicken.
Yes.
Or it's just beef.
Yes.
One ingredient.
Yes.
That was the change. I was like, okay, even though I'm eating less greasy food, actually I'm having more chemicals in my body, and I don't know these chemicals. But I did try it for a year, and I stopped the dairy. I still stopped the dairy today.
Okay. I don't have these issues, but I'm not big on dairy as well.
But like the ingredient side, that's still there, and that's one of the reasons. What are your thoughts on that? It is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, like, if people buy it, companies produce it.
But you eat that stuff too, right? I'm guessing. Some of the pescatarian stuff, because like no beef, no this, but...
Yeah, but I eat fish. That's a compromise. In Dubai, you can be vegetarian and get by. At least in Lithuania, it would be very hard. Because you can't get all the fresh products.
Yeah.
So I have a compromise on fish. I'm okay.
Was it hard for you to stop eating dried beef? Or, 'cause isn't dried beef quite popular?
No.
Like, you know, the dried beef, biltong, whatever you call it.
It's not. No, it's not Eastern European.
It's not Eastern European.
No.
Okay. Well, beef in general is quite a big thing there.
More pork.
Pork, right. Pork.
Pork, chicken.
Was that hard to let go?
No.
Pork?
No.
No?
And I was never a fan of it.
Okay.
No.
Very
I
interesting.
mean, I'm very fortunate. I don't have this gene that causes big addictions. If I want to stop something, I just decide and like, I'm just fortunate that way.
Yeah. Wonderful. Let's talk about staying ahead of trends, because the role that you're in, being able to go to many events, travel, you have to stay on top of commercial awareness. The world of Web3 is ever changing. So how do you keep ahead of the curve? And my question is there a trend right now that makes you feel like you're living in a sci-fi movie?
So in terms of keeping up with trends, I'm always on Twitter. I'm always reading a lot of Telegram channels of the news. I subscribe to specific newsletters. We also have amazing analysts at Gate Venture, where every morning they do crypto market analysis, so we can understand what's happening from them. So in terms of trends and narratives, I mean, of course, everyone is talking about AI and how AI is going to take over. I don't think it's going to happen, but there are a lot of skeptics and a lot of also scared people. I would say the industry is naturally progressing. We're towards the end of the bull market. There's going to be a bear market that we all need to survive. For some of them, it's going to be first time. For me, it's going to be probably like a third or a fourth bear market already. It's a normal progression. Markets go up, markets crash. You just need to adjust your investing strategy accordingly.
Now, just curious, couldn't AI do your job?
I wish it could.
You wish it. Do you really wish that?
Yes.
You really wish an AI
Yes,
could?
because then I could hire AI to do all these things. Yes.
Hire or just buy one time?
Whatever, yeah. Whatever.
But then what would you do? What would you do? What would Laura do?
I would just own many horses, live on a ranch.
Look at that.
Have animals. That's my dream. Like down the line, when I'm gonna make it, I'm just gonna live in a very, very big house, like an estate. Because I do horse riding, I'll own horses, I'll own alpacas. I love snakes. I want to own like
snakes.
I love snakes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you wear snakes like scarves?
I don't own a snake right now because I travel too much. But I would love to own some snakes, some other reptiles. Just have like a mini zoo. Just live happily in nature.
Wow.
That's my dream.
That's your goal.
That's my goal.
Wow. It's really interesting because many Web3 people I speak to who are in this space, Web3 is not a passion that's long term. It's a passive income.
Yes.
It's not a passion you want to lifestyle.
Because we're not really changing the world.
No. You're earning money for yourself.
Yes.
End of the day.
Yes.
You're in it for the money. Okay, you're not. Most of the people I speak to when they invest in a project, they're not using that token on a daily basis. No. It's like, I'm holding this token. It might moon one day and I'll sell.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes. I'm not actually using it to buy coffee, buy this, buy that, whatever.
Yes.
It's just whatever. I got this airdrop. I'm going to wait for it to moon.
Yes.
So it's not really a passion, in my opinion. It's more of a passive income thing.
I would say yes. I mean, it's interesting for me. I could be in any other industry as well, but I would say this industry is genuinely interesting for me. I'm very interested in how crypto is changing the TradFi world, how countries are starting to do CBDC, how we're having federal reserves, and Bitcoin as the currency itself is amazing thing when it comes to having autonomy, and central banks are not controlling it, even though right now they kind of start to control it. But I was like, the thesis itself of Bitcoin was incredible. It's like for people to have power over governments and having something of their own. So on a very much philosophical level, I love working in crypto. I love what crypto stands for. On a day-to-day practical level, there is, yes, a lot of companies that are never going to be successful. Their token might do well, but doesn't mean the product is going to do. But you know, if we look into .com bubble, what happened in early 2000, it was the same thing. Like there were websites that were sold for millions of dollars that later went bankrupt. But then slowly, industry shifted, new companies came in, and now we use internet for day-to-day basis. And there are great companies that are built in Web2.
There are. You mentioned an interesting statement. I'm glad you brought up the topic of control. CBDCs, for example, central bank digital currencies. The question I have is about Bitcoin, right? As an international keynote speaker, and you've been to many conferences, you've been around. Do you think the CIA created Bitcoin?
It could happen.
What's your opinion about where Bitcoin, the origination of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto?
You know how many times I had these discussions with different people till like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning?
Summarize it then.
No one knows.
No one actually knows.
No one knows. If I would know, I wouldn't tell. And if I would know, I wouldn't probably be sitting here. I would probably be sitting in my ranch somewhere with 20 animals, just being happy about it.
Right. It's a very scary feeling, though. It does get me wondering, because I don't think the government would allow something to not be controllable. Because they always want to stay on top of everything. Yeah. Extraterrestrial activity, aliens, the universe, everything.
Do you think aliens exist?
NASA.
Do you think aliens exist?
Do I think non-human things exist? Yeah, I don't know if they're called aliens, but you see them in the sky. Do you think that's made up? What do you think? You see these objects going so fast, like they're there for a second, and then boom. What is that?
That's called a star.
I'm not talking about stars. I'm talking about in the sky, not in the outer sky.
No,
in the near sky.
I don't know. If they are, I hope they're happy living somewhere, enjoying their life. When you work in crypto for so many years, you get so, especially working with clients, because first I worked in client-based kind of service, you get so desensitized by everything.
Oh my God.
So like right now, the war, and I mean, I am from Eastern Europe, we have war happening, just around the corner as well. So like, you just get so desensitized about everything. Like, if aliens come tomorrow,
Okay.
Like, is there anything I can do about it?
Exactly.
I can't.
You can't.
If the world is ending tomorrow, is there anything I personally can do? No, I can't. I can only enjoy my everyday, be the best version of myself, and try to make a world slightly better place with a limited availability and the limited resources I have. Because I'm not a country president, I'm not a billionaire who, I'm not Elon Musk who can actually, who could actually make a world better place.
Correct.
With all of his resources. Well, he chose to do other things, but here we are.
Yeah, where's the Elon Musk, poverty fund, for example, to help those out of poverty?
I think for tax reasons, he definitely donates some money for charity.
Yeah, for tax reasons, right? Tax reasons. Well said. No, this is really interesting, the desensitized thing, and the whole control of the world. Do you believe in NASA?
NASA? What do you mean, do you believe in NASA? Well, the agency exists.
The agency, yeah.
Yes.
But do you think there's what they're doing is necessarily accurate? You know what I mean? You get these questions.
You first get these questions.
Yeah.
And then afterward, you stop asking.
Yeah, it's true.
Because you realize,
what can I do?
Exactly.
I can't do anything.
Yes. So I try to only think of things that are in my field of control.
Right.
And understand that I'm in control of my own life, my own environment. If it's something doesn't affect me, let them be, let them live their life, and I'm gonna be happy living mine.
Fair enough. Well said. I'm not gonna entertain the idea anymore. We're gonna wrap up, but I would like to ask a few more on advice to your younger self. If you could go back in time, give your younger self one piece of advice that you were, starting out to be in the entrepreneurial world, what would it be and why?
That's a very good question.
Oh, I'm glad.
When I was younger, I wasn't as confident as I am right now. I think confidence is a thing it can be taught over time.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not an inherent thing. So I would tell myself just to believe that everything is going to be okay, have faith, and just do your thing. Because I'm very happy where I am right now. And even looking back, I wouldn't think I would change something. I'm happy where I am.
You're happy where you are. Were there any times in the past where things did not work out, collaborations, partnerships, things that could have been but didn't materialize?
Yes, but the thing is, I take them as lessons. Because in the end, I really believe everything that happens to me is in my own control.
Right.
I don't blame anyone else. Everything is my own choice, and every action is the consequences of my decisions. So all these things that didn't work out, any kind of fuck-ups, were lessons for me to learn. Because if I wouldn't have them back in the day, maybe I wouldn't have learned that lesson. It helped me, even at the marketing agency, when I was still running it. Yes, there were fuck-ups with some clients earlier on, but then I could learn it, have a better contract, better client relationship management, better service. So all these things are lessons. So as long as you keep on learning them, you shouldn't be afraid of these problems.
Correct. See, some of the podcast guests I've had, like I've done 60 now, the women that I've interviewed, many of them, not one, have reflected that taking a career costs me my ability to be present with my kids or my spouse or my this and that, because I chose to break the norm of allowing my husband making the money, I'm making the money myself, but it has also caused a little hole in that department. Would you agree on that?
I mean, in the end, it's all individual choices, how they create their own personal life.
Yeah.
I don't have kids. I don't want to have kids, maybe someday. And then, of course, I know if I want to have kids, I'll have to take a pause on my career, but that's not in my anytime near future plans. I have 2 dogs.
Oh, you have 2
They're my
dogs.
babies.
Right.
They're my babies, so I'm always very sad when I have to travel and can't be with them. So for
Yes.
sure, I feel the pain in that regard.
But in the regard of romantic life?
No, never. All
No.
the relationships I had somehow would make time, and I wouldn't feel that I'm
So all the
neglecting.
constant traveling, for example, wouldn't take away your time from being romantic?
No, because they could travel with me.
But can they always travel with you if they have their own jobs?
You choose the man who can.
You choose the man who can.
Yes. It's always about the choice. So make sure to choose that who fits your lifestyle.
I see. And at the moment, have you had that ability?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm very fortunate about it.
So you have a man that's able to travel with you everywhere
Yes.
you go. No matter what. You're
No
there,
matter-
he's there.
He can doesn't mean everywhere we
Yeah.
travel. I mean, you still need to have a little bit separate time. You can't be 24 together. Good. I mean, it's good to be, a little bit, what's the right word? Missing each other. You leave somewhere, then he picks you up with the beautiful flowers. Like it's nice to keep that romance happening.
Right. And so your career has not cost you romantic?
No, never.
Never.
Never. But I'm always very upfront when I start, let's say, beginning of the relationship, going out. My career is very important.
Very important.
I'm going to prioritize it. Relationship is also very important to me.
Yes.
But we will need to make it work.
Yes.
It's not going to be like, oh, sorry, you want something, I'm going to put my career on pause. There are a lot of girls who are happy with that, and that's okay.
Yep.
That's just not me. And if that works for you, amazing. If not, well, that's okay as well.
Yeah. Because that is one of the biggest challenges. You can't have it all. You can't have your cake and eat it, as they
You
say.
can.
Because if you were to have kids, for example, 9 months of pregnancy plus there's quarantine afterwards.
Surrogate.
What?
Surrogate.
What do you mean by surrogate?
Oh, it's very popular right now. A lot of my friends had kids via surrogates.
Oh wow.
You can do it in US, you can do it in Georgia.
Okay.
It's like fully legal. Proper.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Would you want that?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's easier.
Because it's
simpler.
efficient?
It's efficient.
Oh my God! You actually said that. It's actually
Yes.
more efficient to have a
Yes.
surrogate
Yes.
than to go through the pregnancy
Yes.
naturally.
Yes. Then you can, yes, it's still, your kids become your priority. You have to somehow focus less on work, but you're probably then on that career stage where you want to work less. So it's very organic.
Yeah,
Because
still
if
be
you're,
organic.
let's say, a C-level executive, let's say your own company or your owner, your investor, it doesn't mean you have to work 12 hours a day as you should in like beginning of your career where you need to still prove something. So you have more free time, so you can have more time with kids. You probably can afford a couple of nannies to help you out as well. Because the biggest problem with kids, like, let's say, they cry, you need to take care of them, during the night. But if you have someone helping you out, you can make it happen. And I have some friends who have kids, and they make it work. But yes, there are certain social status level where they can afford nannies, they can afford drivers. Like, it's expensive. And it's an investment from money-wise. So if you're there, you can have it all. It's just expensive.
It's just expensive.
Yes.
But equally, relationship-wise, if you can hire a nanny, yes, you can do that. But you're missing out on their growing up with you.
No, you're still there, but doesn't mean you have to be 24/7. It's not good to be 24/7 with your kid.
Definitely not 24/7.
Look, especially if you're a mom, for a man it's a little bit different. But even imagine you have a child.
Yes.
You have to be with them 24/7. A child is hard. Like, it's very hard. Their emotions. You get tired. You're not sleeping. Will you be the best version of yourself as a dad if you're not rested, not tired, annoyed, your kid is crying all the time? No. It's better to spend some time resting, recovering, and then even for less time, but be the best version of your dad, for your kid, rather than being a mediocre one, and then giving your child some trauma that later you need to go to therapy and talk about.
It is a challenge. It remains to be. We don't have the perfect formula, but finding balance.
It's easy for us to speculate where we both
don't have kids right now. I have 2 dogs, by the way.
You also
not
have
the
dogs.
same. Yeah, I'm a dog person, but not the same as having kids.
Exactly. I mean, I don't think we're in a position to speculate about these things.
No, one day. Okay, quirky metaphor for you. I've got a question. I'm going to word it around a question. As we wrap up this interview, if you could sum up your entrepreneurial journey in one quirky metaphor, what would it be and why? Maybe something like a digital astronaut exploring new worlds. What's your take? I wanted to ask this because you get so many interviews, and I want mine to be unique with you. So what would be your metaphor?
You know this meme of the dog sitting on the chair and when everything is burning?
Oh my God.
And he said, it's fine. Please, when you do post-production, put that video.
We'll put it right here.
Please put it here. You can see it now, I hope. That it is. Like, I'm fine.
It's like,
and everything is burning. That's crypto.
Fire all around, and you're just having a cup of tea.
And you're like, it's fine. World is crashing. It's fine. It's okay.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Laura, I want to say thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a great interview, and I love the energy. I think we have great energy. I wish you all the best in your endeavors, and keep rocking. And I think as well, if we cross paths again, we'd be glad to have another round of interviews where we are at a different stage of life, maybe. Exploring more career stuff, I think.
Let's do that. Thank you, Adel, for having me here.
My pleasure. Thank you. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you found this insightful. We'll leave all the links in the description so you can check out Laura's profile. Thank you again. I'm Adel, the host of the Traders Brawl podcast, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.
Web3.tv